Yo, what up, guys? Decided to review the sequel to a movie I just reviewed on Body Bags. It'll be uploaded to Body Bags today. I reviewed Deadly Prey, put out in '88, or was that '87? Yeah, 1987, and that was put out by Slasher Video. And I think like 2 or 3 years ago, they decided to make a sequel. And this one's not put out by Slasher, but it's put out by Olive Films. So the spines and stuff do match up with the Slasher Video one. But it's the same director. They brought back Ted Pryor to play the mercenary dude. They brought back the David Campbell, who played the villain, which is really awesome because he did a really good job in both movies. And they brought back the one dude who played the big mercenary at the end of Deadly Prey 1. But essentially this one, it's obviously like 30 years older, or 30 years later. So Ted Pryor's aged a lot. He has a family now, and he's doing good. And he gets abducted again because the Colonel Hogan gets released from prison, and he just off rip starts up these little training camp again to where people are abducted and thrown into this jungle for the mercenaries to train and hunt them down. Pretty much just like Hard Target and what the hell is the other one? Like The Pest with John Leguizamo. It's that same kind of story. So that's the name, Deadly Prey and Deadliest Prey. He's basically being hunted down. And typical like Rambo style, he has more skills than the people hunting him. So then it's just a slaughter of all the people hunting him in these woods. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is filmed in the same exact woods that Deadly Prey was filmed in 1987. So it's really cool that they're doing this now with a lot of movies. They're doing these sequels 30 years after the fact with the same people, like Halloween. And there's a lot more other examples that they do it with, but I really like it that they did it to a really cult VHS trash movie that they decided to do this for it. They even have little VHS stickers and stuff on it, which I think is cool. But, there's people in this that I've seen before. They're on this, they were on, that VHS documentary. I don't know if they're part of Everything is Terrible, or they're part of something that has to do with VHS collecting. If you watch Rewind This and the other VHS documentary, they're interviewed a lot in that. They're starring in this too, so I have a feeling they had something to do with getting this sequel made also. Probably because Deadly Prey is like a really little known VHS kind of movie. So I thought it was cool that they're kind of, going in together to make this movie possible, which I find is really badass. And I like that they got all the original people, original director. I think they even got the original makeup effects guy. I could be wrong on that, but I think so. But yeah, acting is just as good as Deadly Prey. It's cool seeing Ted Pryor older, kind of doing the role all these years later. And Colonel Hogan's more sinister in this one, I think, than he was in the first one. And the Fritz Matthews, the guy who played the guy who got his arm chopped off in the first one, he has another badass scene in this. That's a cool throwback to the first one. But essentially, this is just a Rambo knockoff. This is like Rambo 30 years later, but this isn't as high budget or as good, I guess to say, as Rambo. But this is a really good trashy knockoff. It's just a really fun time. I love 80s cheese. I love kind of garbage trash movies, and this definitely fits in that category. It's just a super fun time. I don't know if you want to drink or get high or whatever. It's the perfect movie for that. You could get this for like $12 online, so it's definitely worth it. But I'll read the back for you real quick. It just says, sadist, psychopath, and damn fine soldier Colonel Hogan and his merry band of mercenaries are back for more in the sequel to writer-director David Pryor's Deadly Prey. Will Mike Danton ever learn to let someone else take out the garbage? Kidnapped from in front of his home while emptying the trash, Danton finds himself back in familiar territory as prey in Hogan's twisted game of cat and mouse. It's obvious that Hogan is also a slow learner. Will he understand not to mess with Danton, a U.S. Marine who learned to be all that he could be in Nam? The action and kills are amped up in the Deadliest Prey. Now, the Blu-ray, I gotta say, also looks stunning, and it's kind of jarring because Deadly Prey looks shitty. It was converted from a PAL beta tape, up converted to Blu-ray, where this is shot in HD, and it looks really stunning. I was shocked at how good Deadliest Prey looked. So, yeah, it's cool watching them back to back, just seeing the really gritty, rough transfer of the one, and then just the pristine, clean transfer of Deadliest Prey. So, my opinion, if you buy one, you got to buy the other. It's a perfect kind of end cap or whatever. So yeah, that's Deadliest Prey. Definitely check it out. Anyways, guys, peace.